Hello and welcome to the weekly news. I'm David Saylor, and in this week's episode, GWM P300, the most luxurious Lexus SUV, and BMW South Africa cooking up a special X3. Punch it.
Think of a car, any car. Yes, Cars.co.za. Let's find what moves you.
The new car arrivals for 2025 in South Africa, they're coming thick and fast. And another one is here. This is the GWM P300 double cab bakkie. This is the facelift for the P series, or otherwise known as the Poor or Youth in other markets. Here's your first look at the facelifted model. And yes, I'm with you. It doesn't look like much has changed visually. However, the biggest change is under the bonnet. There's a new 2.4 litre turbocharged diesel engine, which is going to be sold alongside the current gen 2 litre. What about those outputs? So if I look at the technical data, 135 kilowatts, 480 newton meters, and that's paired to a brand new 9-speed automatic gearbox. Now in comparison to the older 2-litre model, that had an 8-speed box and only 120 kilowatts and 400 newton meters. So this is going to be quite a step up. We understand the 2-litre diesel will be retained for future and lower end models, but what do you get for your money? There'll be 3 derivatives offered from just 599,900 Rand, which is just 1,000 Rand more than the outgoing model, and the flagship retails for 699,900. That'll be the 2.4 LTD 4x4 9-speed auto. That's quite a mouthful, I must say. Like every Chinese offering that's sold in South Africa, the value for money and specification levels are insane. Like, there's so much crammed into these cars. Even the base LT model, I mean, if I go through the technical sheets, leather seats, which are heated, wireless smartphone charger, tire pressure sensor, 6 airbags, 12-inch screen, adaptive cruise control, and so on and so on. And at which point you're going, so what exactly do you get in the flagship? Well, the flagship adds in all the off-road goodies: front, rear diff locks, front winch, snorkel, underbody protection, an extra airbag taking the total up to 7, and the front seats, which are already heated, now have ventilation. And for me, that is the best thing ever on a hot summer's day. The first units should be hitting showrooms any day now, and it'll be sold with a 7-year, 200,000 kilometer warranty, as well as a 7-year, 75,000 kilometer service plan. At which point you're going, well, you can always pay a little bit more for an established brand like an Isuzu D-Max or Ford Ranger or Hilux. So my question is to you, do you want to put aside your brand loyalty and go for the new kid on the block? It's a tough one. I can't answer that. On to the next story, and if you're in the market for an ultimate luxurious SUV that flexes really hard but quietly, have I got the car for you. This is the updated Lexus LX, and pricing has just been announced and the model has just gone on sale. Let's see what's on offer. There are 5 models in this facelifted range, and from what we can see, the petrol-powered LX 600 has been replaced by a new LX 700 hybrid. What's that all about? So if I go to the tech data, twin-turbo petrol V6 as before, 10-speed auto as before, but there's now an electric motor which helps with boost and helps with efficiency. So you now have 341 kilowatts, 790 newton meters. So it should be pretty quick for a luxurious lounge suite on wheels. I must also say this overtrail spec which you're seeing on your screen right now, I think this looks amazing. I mean, yes, I know that the majority of people like white, silver and black, but please guys, people, I beg you, pick interesting colors like this one. This 700h powertrain is available in 3 models: F-Sport, Overtrail and VIP. The VIP one's really cool. It's got the 2 seats in the second row, so you feel like you're in a business class jet. 2.6 million Rand gets you into this big beast of a luxury SUV. For a bit less money, 2.5 million, you can get the diesel-powered Lexus LX 500D, and I think this is the more sensible option. As a reminder, there's a 3.3-litre turbocharged 6-cylinder, 225 kilowatts, 700 newton meters. Do you need more car? I would say that is plenty. I don't think so. Still, I'm curious as to why the Lexus LX doesn't sell in huge numbers. And then I remember that there's a lovely thing called a Toyota Land Cruiser LC300, which is mechanically the same thing but with a Toyota badge and costs substantially less money. If memory serves off the top of my head, pricing from that is about 1.5 million, going all the way up to 2.1 million. So, do you really need the Lexus? Finally, in our last story, I spent a few days last week with BMW South Africa at its plant in Roslyn, which is near Pretoria, all about the local X3. We were trying to understand the whole production process, and we were told that local stock of the SA-built X3 is all but sold out. And you'd think it was simply a case of asking the factory to make more. But this is a problem because, as a reminder, the plug-in hybrid version is built exclusively in South Africa, both for local consumption, that's us, as well as export. Now, the majority of the outputs of that factory, 97% of whatever comes off that line, gets shipped off elsewhere in the world. So just 3% of what comes out of BMW SA's plant in South Africa is for local showrooms. So you can understand why now there's a shortage. But at the event, we saw a fully accessorized, customized, kitted X3. I mean, it looked amazing. Sadly, I've got no photos of it because the lighting was terrible. But this thing had a fantastic roof rack, bike rack, as well as all-terrain off-road tires. Now, BMW South Africa is considering putting this onto showroom floors, and they even have a name for it, the X3 Rugged. Now, sadly, as I said, there's no footage and no photos of an X3 Rugged, so I spent some time with Photoshop and I made my own render. Like, I've added proper tires and a roof box on. And you can see my handiwork on screen right about now. And don't you think that looks awesome? Look, I don't expect a customer to buy an X3 Rugged and then immediately turn left and go all the way up to Namibia via the Fish River Canyon. But it's nice to know that it can. You know, I mean, all those overlanding types, you have all the roof racks and chunky tires and that. I mean, not everyone drives to Namibia or Botswana or the desert or whatever, but it's nice to know you can. BMW also mentioned they're going to consider putting protective film around the car to protect against the scratches, and of course, I think a little suspension lift kit wouldn't go amiss either. Nothing is confirmed as yet. BMW SA is trying to gauge market reception and response, and I think there's going to be focus groups and so on. But the thing is, BMW X3 G45 doesn't need an SA spec off-road kit. Don't let me know, let them know in the comments. And that brings me to the end of this week's video. Additional information about the 3 vehicles mentioned in today's episode will be linked in the description below. And as always, if you're considering a new vehicle, have a look at what Cars.co.za has for sale. Right now, we have 72,000 vehicles for sale. I'll see you next week. Okay, bye.
Think of a car, any car. Yes, Cars.co.za. Let's find what moves you.